Could we be witnessing the beginning of a new era for the Toronto Maple Leafs? As the clock ticks down on a key player's contract, the organization faces a heart-wrenching decision that could reshape the team's future. Are they ready to say goodbye to a franchise icon, or will they find a way to keep him in the fold? Join us as we explore the implications of this crucial moment and what it means for the Maple Leafs' championship aspirations. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for all the latest updates on our favorite team. As we dive into the latest discussions surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs, the spotlight is firmly on John Tavares and his future with the team. With his contract set to expire after the 2024-25 season, the Leafs find themselves at a critical crossroads. The chatter among insiders like Nick Kypreos and Justin Bourne has sparked a heated debate about what direction the team should take. A potential extension for Tavares is rumored to hover around the $6 million mark per season. But the burning question remains: where does the team see him fitting into their lineup moving forward? Kypreos raises a valid point. If the Leafs view Tavares as merely a third-line center, will they really be willing to invest that kind of money? It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you consider his legacy with the organization and his role as a former captain. However, if the Leafs believe he can still produce in the range of 60 to 75 points, an impressive tally that could justify a second-line center role, then this could change the landscape of negotiations significantly. But let's be real for a moment. How do you weigh a player's past contributions against his future potential? You have to think about the Tampa Bay Lightning's decision with Steven Stamkos last summer. They set a clear limit on what they were willing to spend, ultimately leading Stamkos to sign with the Nashville Predators. While it didn't pan out for Nashville, Tampa Bay maintained their competitive edge. Could the Maple Leafs find themselves in a similar situation with Tavares? The idea of parting ways with a franchise icon is never easy, and as fans, we can feel the emotional weight of such decisions. If the Leafs are looking at a younger, more dynamic solution for the center position, it could mean re-evaluating Tavares' role altogether. If he's to remain, it might have to be in a diminished capacity, with a salary that reflects that change. It's a delicate balance. How do you honor a player of Tavares' stature while also making decisions that benefit the team's long-term success? Tavares has shown he can still make an impact in the regular season, but the big question looms: can he elevate his game when it matters most in the playoffs? The Leafs need to seriously assess whether he is the right fit for their championship aspirations. If the consensus leans toward him being a third-line center, then a contract exceeding $5 million might be a tough sell for both sides. This leads to another crucial point. What are the Leafs prepared to do if they decide to move on? The trade market could be an avenue, or perhaps they'll look to free agency for a more impactful second-line pivot. Yet, if Tavares is open to taking on a lesser role at a reduced salary, keeping him around as a third-line center might still be a feasible path forward. So, do the Leafs have the guts to make a tough call? It's one thing to speculate from the outside, but when you're in the room making these decisions, the stakes feel so much higher. I can't help but feel torn on this. Tavares has been a cornerstone of this team, and letting him go could have ramifications that ripple through the locker room and the fan base. But on the flip side, sticking to old loyalties at the expense of progress could be a recipe for stagnation. What's your take on this? Do you think the Maple Leafs should extend Tavares, or is it time to move on and look for a fresh start? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As we process this, it's essential to remember that every decision carries weight. It's not just about contracts, it's about the heart and soul of this franchise and what we as fans hope to see on the ice. Mitch Marner is undeniably one of the most dynamic players in the NHL, a fact that every Toronto Maple Leafs fan can recognize. His ability to create plays and rack up points during the regular season is nothing short of spectacular. But here we are, yet again, looking at a playoff exit, and the question begs, what does that say about Marner's true value to this team? It's a conversation that's been brewing for a while now, especially as we face the reality of the Maple Leafs struggles to make any significant playoff impact. During the regular season, Marner plays like a superstar, flirting with the century mark in points and lighting up the scoreboards. But when the playoffs roll around, it feels like a different player. Sure, he continues to contribute, but the game changer we need in those critical moments seems to vanish. Fans stay vocal about their frustrations, believing that Marner holds the key to lifting this franchise beyond the first round. It's a heavy burden, but it's one he carries every postseason. As I look back at the Maple Leafs' history, it's hard not to feel a sense of déjà vu. Every season brings that exhilarating hope, but with each early playoff exit, that hope is crushed, echoing the sentiments of fans who have endured decades of disappointment. This cycle of optimism followed by heartbreak is exhausting. We need to see more from Marner when it matters most, or else the Maple Leafs will continue to be caught in this endless loop of promise and failure. So what happens if Marner doesn't elevate his game this postseason? This could significantly impact not only his future with the team, but also the direction the organization chooses to take. As we all know, he's eyeing a massive contract extension. But how can the Maple Leafs justify that if he continually falters when the stakes are at their highest? It's a tough question we have to grapple with. If he can't deliver, do we really want to commit that kind of money to him? The crux of the issue lies in whether regular season success is enough anymore. Marner is crucial in keeping the Maple Leafs competitive, but the goal is to win the Stanley Cup, not just to win regular season games. How much longer can fans tolerate the lack of playoff success? Can the organization afford to keep a player who shines in the regular season but disappears in the postseason? We're not just talking about points and assists here. We need players who can step up when everything is on the line. As we look toward the future, I can't help but wonder about what's next for Mitch Marner. The Maple Leafs desperately need more from him if they're going to break this championship drought. With younger players like Matthew Knies pushing for bigger roles, it becomes even more critical for Marner to show he can still be a centerpiece of this franchise. Otherwise, his place in Toronto could be in jeopardy. Let's face it, we're entering another make-or-break situation. The pressure is mounting, and with each passing playoff season, the stakes climb higher. If Marner can finally shine when it counts, it could change everything. But if he falters again, serious questions will emerge about his long-term future with the team. It's hard not to feel the weight of that possibility, and as fans we need to ask ourselves, what do we expect from Marner this postseason? Will he finally step up and be the player we know he can be? Or will this be yet another chapter of disappointment? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is this the right path for the Maple Leafs? Are we prepared to commit long-term if Marner doesn't deliver? Join the debate in the comments below. Share your expectations, and let's discuss this pivotal moment for our team. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Toronto Maple Leafs. Also, activate that notification bell to get all the latest updates, because as we all know, this is a season that could change everything. Let's rally together and hope that this time the outcome will be different.